Twill Hallstatt pattern with Bridget Lucia Mackenzie. And the show is yours.
Very, very good. For most of the class, being that there's already 16 students and probably more, we're going to go to a second page. I'm going to recommend that people mute unless they're very quiet. If you have a question, you can unmute or pop it into the chat. Lisa will be monitoring the chat and can break in and say, breaker, Bridget, for your questions. I'm gonna blaze on through. If you get completely lost, please don't get lost. Wave your hand, put up your little hand symbol, and ask questions. This is a really difficult pattern. As you look at it, it looks complex and insane and terrifying, but don't worry. I'll get you through it.
Bridget will be there for you.
I'll be there for you.
And I'm going to interrupt for one moment.
There's Debbie. Hi, Debbie.
Hello.
Let me change. You can change over to here if you want.
For those of you who don't know, I'm the puppet master for all of this. And I would like to thank Lisa. You're welcome. Lisa, our Zoom host, Bridget, our teacher. Thank you both very, very much. Fibrary would not be anything without our fabulous Zoom hosts and our wonderful teachers. This is our last day and it has been so well received. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Okay. Oh, Bridget, do you know how to do finger loop braiding?
Sure.
Would you teach it after this class, please?
I need to refresh, but let's talk. Sure.
Okay.
I learned it from Aowen.
I know that's who I learned it from too. Is it at 3?
It's at 3, and my teacher is a no-show.
Send me some documents on it. I'll fake it. I'll fake it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll give it a shot.
You are my dark arts teacher. I will now leave you alone.
Sure, I can do finger loop braiding, or figure it out really fast. Okay, so as mentioned in the tablet, in the instructions that I have, so my instructions are 2 pages, 1 and 2, and with it is the pattern. The pattern is 2 pages. When you print it out, this is the first page. Very scary. No, it's not scary. This is the second page. You will be taking the second page, which only has about half pattern, fold it in half so there's less for you to look at and be confused by. And we're going to be starting at the bottom and going up, just for a program note. Leave that alone. Here are some other samples of it that I have done. Here is in a very lightweight tencel and some nice size 3 cotton like I'm working with today. This is the threads I'm working with today. Gonna do a little tilt there. I made a bag, this bag, nice, big, thick, heavy cotton, and I'll show it on the big screen. You can see this lovely bag that was made for me. The pattern was found as a cuff trimming on the edge, what would have been the edge of a sleeve. It was very tiny. It was about the width of this piece right here. And the pattern itself, all 72 lines of it, is twist neutral after the 72 lines. So that enables you to weave yards and yards and yards without the twist happening on the upper end of your loom, which is lovely. So I'm hoping everybody has their looms warped up. There are 13 cards that are needed. Your cards needed to be numbered 1 to 13, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 13. The cards I'm using have A, B, C on the faces in this direction, in the clockwise direction, and they're threaded S, which means the threads come from the supply on the upper left and out through towards your weaving on the lower right. I'm going to pause, make sure we got that. If there are questions, that's an important piece for us to move along. Let me know if there are questions.
There are no questions.
Oh my God. Woo-hoo. So per the instructions, so in the instructions I have are how to warp it and showing the S versus the Z and what the warping pattern is. We need the spreadsheet pattern, which is this right here. When I first tried to figure it out and weave it from the existing patterns, I would get lost. I would turn the cards and then just be lost. And it just may be how my brain works. So I needed to come up with some type of a guide. I hate to use the word cheat sheet, because it's not really cheating. It's just a tool that helped my brain. So what you see in this pattern is me on an Excel spreadsheet, just documenting what the turns are of the cards. Unlike earlier weaving, specifically what we did 2 weeks ago in the basic tablet weaving class, once you set the pattern by rotating or flipping the cards, your entire pack moves as one. In the Hallstatt pattern, each pick, a pick is a line of pattern. Each pick, each card can move a quarter turn away or a quarter turn towards you. And so the pattern tells you which is which. So I'm going to turn my page. So looking at your pattern sheet, the patterns, the lines are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up to 14 on this half of this page. And then you would flip it and find 15 and move up. We weave from the bottom of the page to the top. And the first start of the pattern, it starts. So here is the full, if I can get it down far enough, here we go. The full pattern starts at this half of this triangle. There's a bar, another triangle, and then the slanty bar the other way up to back to the half of that triangle. So the entire 72 lines, if I can hold the whole thing from end to end, is that right there. So it starts with this slanty triangle, a slanty bar, a full triangle, slanty bar, and another half triangle. So that is where the pattern here starts. When you look at the cards, when you see them, what's listed on the lines, and in line number 1, the cards read C, D, A, B for the first 4. And I look at them by looking at the cards point, those holes pointing at me. Those are the cards that are closest to me. So I will look at this set of holes in the cards. So you're going to first a cross check that everybody has them S in from the upper left and out through the lower right. They should all be flipped. They should not be threads in from the upper right and down through the lower left. So they should be threaded S. So as I'm looking at the cards, each of the individual cards, card number 1 is C. And I cross-check that's card number 1 is C. Card number 2 is D. And thusly I go across the way to make sure this is my starting point. C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, pardon me. And then card number 9, look down, card number 9 is A, D, A, B, C. A, D, A, B, C. So knowing how to read the cards and compare them to what's on the pattern is absolutely critical. So that's checking the line. The next is moving the cards. So as mentioned in the words below the pattern, cards should be strong S. We discussed that. Cards should have printed faces to the right. These are my printed faces. These are my not printed faces. So printed faces to the right. And the order of the letters on the holes is clockwise. We're going to weave bottom to top, which means we're going to start at 1 and move up. The letters correspond to the top hole towards the weaver. I just mentioned that. The letters on the check line correspond to the top hole towards the weaver. And in the move line, 1, 2, 3, numbers, card numbers, means roll the card away from you. So if you see here, card 1, 2, 3, 4, for pick 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards are going to roll away from me. The arrow downward, and they'll only be downward arrows, not upwards. Arrow downward means roll that card towards you. So for pick 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be away. 5, 6 is going to be rolling towards me. 7, 8, 9 will roll away. And 10, 11, 12, 13 will roll towards me. So let's do that pick. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to roll away. And what I do is I don't move the entire quarter turn. I move it at about a 45-degree angle, and my fingers underneath are going to hold those right there because I want to double check because I screw up a lot and I need this support to check. Cards 5 and 6 roll towards me. And again, I'm going to move it 45 degrees and let my fingers underneath capture those turns and just hold them gently for just a moment. 8 and 9 will roll away. And again, my thumb's holding it at top and my fingers are down here holding them at the bottom very safely. Your tension should be enough that the cards aren't going to sag or flip.
It's 7, 8, 9, correct?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. 7, 8, and 9. See? My brain doesn't always work, but if I follow the pattern, it does. Very, very good. I want you to catch me when you see those. This is why I needed the check line pattern. And 10, 11, 12, and 13 will roll towards me. So my fingers are holding those 2 sets of cards so that I can cross-check 4 away, 2 towards, 3 away, 4 towards. Now I can let them complete their turns all the way and slam them back together. And before I pass my shuttle, I want to cross-check because that's how my brain works. B, C, D, A. I get to, at this point, once I turn the cards, I get to move up 2 lines because I need my check line with the letters in it, and I need the move line with the arrows and letters in it. So line number 2, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, C. And you will get faster at this. I'm going painfully slow, but card number 9 is D. D, A, B, C, D. D, where's my D? 9 is D, A, B, C, D. All right, so I've checked it. It might be unneeded, but it's a good habit to get it with these nice size 3 crochet cotton threads. The clearing of the shed isn't always needed, but just as a weaver, as a card weaver, I always just do a clear the shed, which is the whole pack up and back, just once up and back. Then I bring my shuttle through. And what I also like to do to make sure I don't have any stray threads not passing is the not shuttle hand sends at least a finger through, touch the shuttle to greet it, and give it safe passage. That way my shuttle doesn't grab threads it shouldn't grab. Okay. So I'm going to greet it, bring it on through. And instead of a beat, which I think breaks fibers, I do a scrub, which is just a move down and up, just a scrub. And then I usually grab the loop, and some people like to leave a loop and then keep weaving. That's perfectly fine. My path, my ritual is to first tug. I put my finger in the loop and I first tug away to give this section one more little tightening, let go of the loop, and then I pinch here. And when I pinch and pull, I can feel that loop get smaller, smaller, smaller. And then there's a moment where it goes plink inside. So I don't pull it too tight, but I don't get the little ears on the edges. Okay, so shuttle down, 1 pass done. Whew. Okay, so now I look at the second line. Oh, we've already checked it. That's good. We can now move the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 1, 2 towards me. 7, 8, 9 away. And 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13 towards me. And again, I hold them as with my fingers as 2 separate packs. Cross check. I have 4 cards here, 2 cards there, 3 cards there, 4 cards there. And because the first and second pick and maybe more are the same, that's interesting and cool. And you will get strange repeats, or you see ABCD and CDBA, and that happens. That's fine. Just follow the pattern. So now that I've confirmed that I've got the right ones rolling forward and back, I can complete the turn and they all go horizontal and then they smash together. Quick, clear the shed up and back. I can greet the shuttle. Oh, but before I pass the shuttle, I really should cross check, which means moving my cards. Okay, does that almost make sense? Does that make sense? Want to keep weaving? We good? I got a
It
yes
makes
right here.
sense.
Okay. If people have questions at this point, start asking, because I'm going to keep weaving. I'm going to cross check my pattern. ABCD.
Can I ask you a structure question?
Sure.
Okay, so when you do 3-1 twill, I did a lot of 3-1 twill having set it up from tablets that were Claudia Wolney's books.
Sure.
Ireland. Okay, so her setup has, for example, dark on top. The beginning pattern is
Right.
dark top, dark forward, dark top, dark back, dark top, dark forward. This is set up as a rotating twill. Is it, so that it's a cyclical twill all the way? Hers is a back and forth. Why? Why are they both called twill? And this one's a broken twill. Is it because the slant is breaking? I don't understand why they're both called twills, is what I'm getting down to.
I don't think that these go round and round and round. I think that each card does the same.
Does the back and
two
forth?
Forward, back, two forward, two back.
Okay.
Ultimately, that's why it's twist neutral after 72. They finally realign themselves. If they were to just go away, like the Osberg, that little tiny diamonds that just goes away, that does the rotation, that's a different pattern. But I think each individual card just still does two forward, two back.
They still do a rock.
Right. I understand that twill means over, jumping over. So that they're, I can't even structure.
Well, I can see it here. There's some spots where it jumps.
Yes.
There's some spots where it does, where you see the jump. It's like a float.
A float. Yeah, they're definitely a float. And I'll talk about border cards. You guys know about border cards. I'll do border cards later. That wasn't your question, but you asked the question in the event, and I couldn't type it. I didn't have enough time to type it. I knew we could talk about it here. Does that make sense? Yeah. I wish I had the groovy computer program that draws the patterns like people who write books have. This pattern here is not the way either Marvy or Claudia or Malarkey, right?
Yeah.
They have the fancy art programs that can draw way better than me. I know Excel, and that's why for me, I put it in an Excel spreadsheet so I could understand it. It seems like everyone has their own way of defining it, and if I could get their art program to write patterns, I would write it in their pattern. But this one is mine. I think that it is just, and if you track them, watch them, I think they're just going two forward, two back, but just all out of alignment with each other.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Right. So my next step is to check my pattern, ABCD. And when I have live classes of this, the whole class is full of people going C, D, C, A, B, B, B. It's like they're calling out DNA codes, Gattaca. So I'll stop calling out mine unless you need me to, because I'm figuring that a lot of you are weaving this too. A, B, C, D, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, and as you get faster at it, you won't need to check every line, or you will tell by the image of your weaving, oops, I got one wrong. But just to get everyone to a point of where you can weave it, because before I created this, it was not possible for me. I wore out and this is the one. I wore out fibers, weaving and unweaving, weaving and unweaving. And it wasn't until a friend of mine sat down and wove an inch of it that I said, great, 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 stop. And then I deconstructed it by weaving backwards and writing down where each card was. So he figured it out for me and let me create the check line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 back. 7, 8, 9 away. 4 back. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if D, A, B, C. Oop. Look, I made a mistake already. I have a favorite way to unweave a pick that I really like. So I want to unweave this last pick. So I go to the card opposite the shuttle and I pull that card out just a little bit until, if I can show off right that little bit right there. If I pull it out and get that little bit, come on, little guy, pull him out using the same safety pin I secure the cards with. So that little ladder section of weft, using and this works on wool and, silk, whatever else. So I find that loop, get my loop back. I'm going to move the cards up and I tease that last pick up and get my fingers in it. So I've now put my finger through where the last weft thread went. And let me see if this will let me tilt the cards. And then this is where the magic happens. You just go boop, pull it apart, orient them so that they're right. Come on, baby doll. I grabbed the wrong loop. There we go. Whoopsie doodle. Baby. Oh, that's right. Okay, so that caught a thread. So pull it apart until it's back at this pick. For me, that's pick number 3, cross-checking it's ABC, good. And so I turned the cards wrong and I need to figure out what I did, A, B, C, D. So that's how I undo a pick and it's very useful. B, C, D, C, D, A, B, B, C, B, C, D, A. So now I can move back to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. Up. A, B, C, D. So I have to do that pick. B, C, D, C, D, A, B. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 2 towards me. 7, 8, 9 away. 1, 2, 3, 4 towards me. Okay. 4, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Move my marker up. D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, B, C, D, A, B. Cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. 1, 2, 11 and 12, 13. So at this point, you got it. Keep weaving. What is it? We got it. did I just do? Oh, jumped in too far. CDAB. CDABA. What the hay wagon? CD. BA. Okay, moving cards. 1 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. Everything but 12, 13 towards me. 12, 13 away. That's 5. I was teaching this at an event in Vegas we called Town Crescent, and a gentleman had his brother with him, and his brother was developmentally challenged and looked everything over and was looking at all the people weaving this, and he said, I want to do that. And his brother said, no, you can't do that. Yeah, no, I want to do that. And I said, well, let's let him try. And I sat him down, and I just said, this and this means this and that, just like I've told you. And he went, okay. And he just started cranking it out. And his brother, jaw drop, was a little freaked out by the fact, because the brother couldn't do anything. So it was very cool to see that this is simple enough that someone who had never wove before and who normally can't do life was able to weave. I was very proud of that. Okay, B, C, D, A. B, C. Everybody weaving? Anybody not weaving, having questions?
Yes, I'm weaving and it actually looks like something.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay! When a teacher teaches a student and the student gets it, the teacher gets a little burst of like endorphin or something. Thank you. Yay. Two. I've also translated this to the Mammon pattern, which is 342 lines. It was the trim on the edge of a cloak of a Viking chieftain found in 980, Denmark or Sweden. I corresponded with Lace Raider Knudsen, if I'm saying that name, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, who was the textile archaeologist on the dig. And she had redacted, documented what the pattern was and just wrote it down as dots and sent it to me. And I translated it into my Excel spreadsheet checkline pattern. And I wove it. It was very cool. I haven't done any more beyond that because scholarly wise, what I should do is use one of the existing pattern methods, like all the other folks who write books, and have that be standard so that I can read it, because I can't always read those patterns and grok them. So that's the next step. Oh, look, see, I got it out of alignment. Oh no, where am I? How do I get back to what I'm doing? So if you lose your magnet or if your Post-it falls off, the yellow highlight color on the pattern matches what the pattern is. So let me crank the camera down so I can see it. So the start of the pattern is half of that triangle. So I can get close to it. So it should be somewhere in here. It's the second diamond. So somewhere kind of here is where it should be. And then I have to look at my cards, B, C, D, A. So where, oh, there's B, C, D, A. I found it. And I can get back to it. So don't worry, kittens or husbands or kids knocking your pattern aside won't lose you completely.
Bridget, are you an archaeologist? Did you say, or?
I'm not. I'm a systems analyst for a computer system. So no, but I love history. I you know, I think of myself as kind of an amateur historian.
Yeah,
Nobody's paying me.
I'll give
But
you a historian crown. There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
love doing the research. I love researching things and, you know, learning about it. The original piece of this Hallstatt band, the weft of it was woven with horsehair. And if you look in the comments section, I posted a paper I wrote, which was my recreation of the actual, and I wove it with horsehair. I also, the original has linen for the white, and oh, that's the Mammon band. Has linen for the white and wool for the weft. And the linen disappeared; it melted, you know, it disintegrated, and so the structure was only being held by the wool. But I love that stuff. It's interesting how historical research of an ancient art can translate into the modern craft, and you don't always need the historical context, but it's just a good starting point to do your own craft and design your own patterns. You can design your own patterns of this, of 3-1 twill, specifically using cards all threaded the same way, turning each card individually to get different patterns. And there's a ton of patterns out there where they have animals and figures, and it's difficult to chart because you have to do it all on a diagonal. It's hard to get circles. The best you can get is these diamonds. But I find that crafters often go into and out of historical context. Some people don't ever know the historical source of what craft they're doing, knitting or sewing or whatever it may be. But it does give it a fuller view as you look at the historical context. CDAB, 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 ADAB. 7, 8. Tablet weaving is not a mainstream craft yet. You have to really work at doing it. It's not at Michael's Crafts yet. So finding teachers for it, finding books for it for some people is a tough one. Although in recent years, there have been some lovely books written about basic tablet weaving and, you know, how to get started and such. It's not yet mainstream.
I think many of the people you are addressing right now are very non-mainstream.
Yay, that's why you're here, right? Back, 7, 8, forward. Oh, I'm not showing my cards. Oh, bollocks. Apologize. Moved them up out of the way. That's not good. Let me advance my warp. sure you can see the cards and the weaving. There we go. All right. 1, 2 away, 4 towards me, 7, 8 away, 3 towards me. 1, 2 away. 1 was A, B, away. Nope, 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 nope. 2. Start over. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 away. 3 towards me. Very good. 3 towards me. 2 away. Need to be A and B. 2 away. That's it. A, B, C, D. So the next step I see in being a student of 3-1 Twill is to, once one can weave something, then look at the other existing patterns. And once you know how to just weave basic 3-1 Twill, we should be able to look at other 3-1 Twill and figure it out. I don't relish having to convert every pattern in the world to my type of check pattern. But when I go and weave other 3-1 Twill, I understand how it works. So reading the pattern is easier.
Do you sell the patterns that you've already confabulated to Bridget Brain?
Sell? No.
Like,
Here you go. There's this.
but if
I could.
we want more that you've done for, can we like?
I'll be happy to post the Mammon pattern in the Fibrary. So it's not just in the event, it's in the main. Oh, there's a file section, I believe. The only other one I've done is the Mammon. And I'll be glad to post that.
Thank you. You're so
Sure. No, it's freely given. Yeah, ideally it would be nice to monetize it, but I don't know how to do that. And it's so niche. You know, somebody should write a book. Oh, a lot of people have written books. I just think that the check line for me and other brains may work better, that they can just look at a pattern and weave it. This for me has made it possible to weave 3-1 Twill. I couldn't even approach it. My brain just didn't work right. And that's one interesting thing about weaving, learning or teaching weaving just for a start, but other complicated tasks is people's brains work differently. So what one person sees as S, others see as, well, it's a Z tilt because it's tilting that way. Just a different way of looking at something and having the common terminology so people understand it. So at this point, everybody's got it, right? After 45 minutes? We don't even have to, torture you for 2 hours. What do you think? Anybody? We could just sit and weave together.
Whatever works for you. I'm very
excited.
I'm on 11.
Good.
Bridget, I have a question for you.
Yes, of course.
And so dealing with speed warping always breaks my brain, but I gave it a shot for this.
Yeah.
And I thought I had warped it S. I in fact had warped it Z. No, hold on. I got so far so good. That didn't freak me out too much. The pattern is showing up in reverse colors on the back, so I'm doing it right.
Yes, you are. Yes. So you can see it here, and the top for you looks like that.
Yeah, it was a little scary the first couple of bits. So I was like, I know exactly what I did here wrong.
And so you know what you did, like you just said.
I know. I figured it out. I was like, well, that was a dumb move, but all right, that's cool. If I wanted to recover from this, if I wanted to change my cards, which are now Z, into S's and move them to the correct starting point, I
Just
know
renum-
I'll have to do, yeah. I
Just
have to-
reletter the cards. Just write on it
Okay.
in Sharpie, reletter the backside.
Yeah, I've got, unfortunately, the, what do you call, printed cards, 3D printed cards. So writing on them is really an option right now. It's all right. So the answer is, if you do this, then flip the cards and then change the lettering to be counterclockwise.
Clockwise. So
Clockwise.
so I'd flip this card
Mhm.
and then clockwise.
And
with-
just make certain that the starting point's where I want the starting point to be.
Right, exactly.
Okay, got it. All right,
That's
thank you.
so much simpler, and I have absolutely done that. And then I go later with paint thinner and just, when I'm all done with the weaving, to get rid of the marks, and then I have my cards back. Yeah.
All right.
So much easier than trying to cut it off or unstring it, or dear Lord, no.
Yeah, it was getting a little character building there, and then I just simply had faith, and look, the color, it's coming out just not where I expected.
Proud of you. Good.
Thank
Shows
you.
that the math works, the pattern works. C, C, D, A, B, C. Away, two towards. I wish I could write a little Excel spreadsheet formula to be able to enter where the card is and create my own patterns, but that's just another level of, yeah. I think at this point, once I've learned how 3-1 twill works, it's just easier to then move into other people's patterns. There's so many beautiful patterns out there, all the fox nose and apple seas and all that stuff. Oh, so beautiful. Way towards me. So I've reached the top of my page, and if I take the page, open it up, and I'm the top one, the one I just wove was I'm sorry, hold it properly. Line 14. So I need to find 15. So on this page, that's 51, starts at 51. Oh, this one starts at 15. Good, that's where I need to start my weaving on this page. Ooh, if it's right. It's not right.
So I don't know how most people are counting, but can I tell something that I've found that is really helpful?
Oh, please.
If you mark the very center card, I don't count card by card. I count in relationships. So I'll do 3 forward, 4 back, but I like to have a relationship there. So I mark the center card. I literally have a red line going around all 4 edges of number 7.
Right.
And then I do the same on the sheet of paper. I have a red line going all the way down 7.
Yes.
And then when I'm looking, I go 2 forward, 3 back, 2 including 7, including the red. And it helps me know exactly where I am.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Those are
really
the kind of
well.
tricks I just love.
It helps a lot. That, what you're doing now, though, is best thing I've ever seen.
Yay, it's fun. It's kind of magical. If you go
And I
too,
want to make a mistake so I can do that, but I don't want to make a mistake.
well, I just figure I will make a mistake, and I don't, it'll happen. Let's see, where's that guy? There he is. Come on. Yeah, somewhere I got backed up wrong. Talking and weaving at the same time. Should be D. A, D, A, B, A. And if you're going to be weaving yards and yards of stuff to make trim or belts or whatever you're making, having tricks to keep you on track for those long yards is always good. B, that's that. All right, now maybe we'll do it right. We will. 3, 4 away. Like your red line, that's a great idea.
On really wide patterns, you do a lot of cards. You can, on your pattern, do 5 colored, 5 white, 5 colored, 5 white, and then read it in relationships all the way across.
Super smart. Super smart. I really like that. A. One towards 2. For border cards, and we're just doing the 13 cards here. And on the edges, especially because of the 3-1 twill, there's lots of these crazy long floats that you wouldn't want to have in a garment or a belt or as trim. So crazy long floats. So in most cases, people put, oh, this is weeny teeny. People put a border on of at least 2 cards, 1 or 2 cards, maybe more. This looks like it has about 5 border cards of where the card is all one color. And, you know, I just do 2 forward, 2 back, keep them in a pack up above, have them like riding up above. And I use a marker. This is my little arrow. It's like a little crown. It's got a little princess in there. But it reminds me, okay, the border cards are going away. And then once they've gone twice, the border cards are coming towards me. And I just keep moving either a magnet or a scissors. I use this in the double face too, because your border cards in double face, this tells me away, 2 away, 2 towards, 2 away. And not just for the border cards, for the whole pack. It reminds me how many times I go forward and how many times I go back. But just using my marker, a pointer, to tell me forward, back. That helps me. Keep weaving. B. Move my marker. So if nobody has any more questions, we can wind it up. There's our class. Any last minute questions? Maggie, do you have any last minute questions, comments?
This is really cool. I haven't card woven in a while and it makes sense to me. So woohoo.
Yay. I get a burst of endorphins. What's that?
Questions in the chat. Everything is good.
Fantastic.
So excited that I could like see the pattern. I still need to like tighten up and stuff, you know, of my whole weaving technique, which I'm sure comes with time and practice.
Sure.
But I can like see that mine looks like similar, just, you know, not as professional as yours. And so it's very exciting.
Get it? That's wonderful. It's fantastic. Well, I think we could probably end off. You guys keep weaving. I'm still available if you want to chat with me via Facebook messaging. Just send me a message. I didn't see a couple people's messages after the first class, and I apologize. I'll make a note of checking message requests a little better. But let's keep weaving, and I'll see you guys in the next class. How about that?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for your
You bet.
time.
You bet.
I
Keep
think
weaving,
you're
you
awesome.
guys.
Hey,
All right.
Yeah, your substitute teaching experience. I'll be there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, Bridget, somebody's here to say hi. It's
Who's here to
Roberta.
say hi?
It's Roberta.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, honey. I haven't seen you in a year. I haven't seen anybody in a year.
Right.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We can go ahead and log off.